let's talk about Germany and Switzerland. A 1-1 draw, and it took Germany until the 92nd minute for Nicholas Füllkrug to find the back of the net there. Alex, this match should have gone Switzerland's way, but of course it's that extra time Germany goal. Classic, we've seen it 100 times over. But the biggest sentiment, I think, to take away here is that Germany played their full squad, their starting squad, the squad that they won against Scotland with, the squad that they had to win against Hungary with, and they struggled here. We, for the first time, I think, have seen cracks, and they might be fine cracks, but we've seen them.
Yeah, I think I saw an article that said, canny Scotland, tricky Scotland, Switzerland, find the playbook. They've worked out some of the playbook to beat Germany. You talk about the team that they have and how well they've played in these opening two games. But this was probably their toughest test in terms of the quality of opposition. With all due respect to Scotland and Hungary, not the best teams in the competition, arguably two of the worst. And I think Switzerland have shown, although they drew with Scotland, that on their day they can play really well. So I think this was probably, I said it before, a litmus test for Germany. Can they perform against the stronger teams? Switzerland obviously aren't as good as a Spain or Italy, sorry. So I think this kind of maybe revealed a few, as you said, a few cracks. I still think they played well in parts, but it shows that they can be beaten, and in a way it's a good thing. I think it's nice to have a few teams that could go on and win the whole thing. I'd rather have Germany and Spain competing rather than Germany wiping the floor with everyone.
Absolutely. Gary, what was your biggest takeaway from watching the German squad last night and the way that they played?
Well, first of all, I think the last time I was on the show, I did mention that this Germany team are not going to try too many new things because they are working still on their identity. There was no way I expected them not to make too many changes to that third place team because, they've not gotten to a stage where there's a joke in football at a point where they say, if your team has not gotten to a stage where you told the starting 11 by heart or, off the top of your head, then you are not there yet. Germany are not there yet where German fans can close their eyes or a 6-year-old German fans can name the starting 11. So at that point, they would not have started any other players apart from the absolute top 11. And that's what they did. That was one of my takeaways. And I was happy to be, proven right about that. Then secondly, it's how do I put this? It vindicated that decision because you see, even with that starting 11, like you said, that a very good team who are able to exploit are starting to show, because it's better you see the cracks in this game against Switzerland where you've already qualified than the next round where you can be kicked out of the knockout. And so it's a win-win situation for Germany. I think that Nagelsmann will be very happy about the fact that Switzerland were good enough to expose the cracks, meaning that they can go back into the the analysis form. They can go onto the videos and see exactly what to do on the bench and try to plug it in the next game. I think Germany have players on the bench good enough to plug some leaks as well. So I think Switzerland will also be happy because on their part, obviously their team is also growing. There's been some criticism in Switzerland that the team is not fresh enough, that some of the names are being chosen not 100% on merit, but because of what they've done in the past. And I'm talking about, for example, Sommer and Embolo. People, because they are players like those players. And if I asked you, Sarah, when did you hear of Embolo apart from the Swiss national team? You might struggle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You only see him, international tournaments. Who is Switzerland going to play? Then you go like, oh yeah, Embolo, because he's one of those players as well. So there's a feeling, if you read the Swiss press ahead of the tournament, that some of these players are not being chosen because of what they have actually done, their form guide. But yesterday showed that sometimes the coach doesn't know what he's doing. And I think it was good for both teams as well.
Those big players, though, you talk about Shaqiri, quite often you sort of not forget about him in between when it's club football, but he always pops up. And I think for me, the two big takeaways from this game were, one, that I think Switzerland played well. They pressed Germany quite well. I thought Xhaka being quite close to Toni Kroos. I thought Akanji pressured Kai Havertz really well, and I think that might be part of the playbook in terms of you put Germany under pressure and you keep that high press. It forces them to take long shots and make mistakes. But then also something that we can take away from this game is it shows, as Gary said, the depth that Germany have. They were struggling, they needed a goal. Bring on Nicholas Füllkrug, and he did it for them. So I think it both positives and negatives for Germany.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Germany are, of course, qualified through. We know this. Klinton, one thing I noticed yesterday as I was watching Germany lose most of the match and really hoping they were going to do it is that we now have a bracket on one side that's going to be Spain, Germany, Portugal, potentially France or Netherlands, likely Belgium, all on England. One side. Well, I would take England at this point. They're an easier team to play as of right now. And then either Netherlands and France on the one side with England. This one side of the bracket is going to be insane. It's all the heavy hitters.
I mean,
nothing to say.
No. You see, I was literally just waiting to make my comment regarding the game from yesterday.
What are you waiting for?
Germany and Switzerland. And obviously, Gary, Alex, they've pretty much said most of it. But then again, I was just happy to see Germany struggle in the sense that they've had 2 easy games where everybody felt like they are probably the best or one of the best so far. We were thinking Germany and Spain were the best in the tournament so far. But then again, I watched the game and I'm like, wait, hang on. Is this the same Germany I've been watching or this one? Is it just because they've been facing less tougher opponents and they've just been looking good on the pitch because of the caliber of people they were playing? And yesterday, Switzerland did give them a proper game. And I would have been happy to see Switzerland go through with a win.
Same.
But then again, it was obviously... Yeah, they had tried so much, and towards the end of it, they had a defensive error, which was literally just leaving Füllkrug just by himself standing there. I think there were like 2 players standing at the 18-yard box, and it was almost like they were spirits, Because in my head, I'm like, wait, do you guys not? This is nearly the end of the game. Do you not see this guy just chilling there?
It's almost as if they've gone, you mark him. No, you mark him.
I mean, this is what I would expect some kind of conversation going to. Okay, watch this guy. I mean, this is what we do in football. This is if you've played pack football or whatever, wherever you've been. This is the kind of conversation going on. Did they just look at him and be like, right, you know what, we've played so much, I don't have the energy. Just stand there. I'm like, was that what happened? And they ended up conceding such a very cheap. To me, the goal was too cheap. It shouldn't be. They've done everything on the pitch. They held Germany down. They played so well. Like, they were making connective passes. It was almost as if it wasn't the Germany we've been watching, because we gave Germany this whole accolade, like, the way you guys have come for this tournament, you've come with anger, because they faced a crippled Scotland, and they've also faced a one leg standing, what's the name of the other country? Hungary, like, that has only 1 star in the whole team, and we feel like Germany is like this almighty team, and they now face Switzerland, who have at least a couple of good people who have played in a matured league, in a mature league. They've played to high-level football, and now we see the real Germany. This is part of the reason why I can't wait for the round of 16, where it's like more serious people come into play. But I really wish Switzerland did steal the win.
I think that one weakness I saw for Germany was Jonathan Tah. I thought he had quite a poor game, and he's obviously used to playing in a back 3 with Leverkusen. They have a really good team. I'm not saying this Germany defence is weak. It's brilliant. But, maybe just that change of system. He looked a bit off it last night. He played well in the opening games, but I think that's probably the big weakness for Germany is that back 4 and whether Jonathan Tah can get used to that back 4 system.
For sure. Absolutely. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, Sarah, can I make a point
absolutely.
as well? Just a quick one on Germany before we box on. And I was saying about Füllkrug. He's had 3 shots on target he's had 3 shots and then 2 goals so far in the tournament. And you remember when we were doing the build-up to this competition, I was saying that Germany have that quality about them that they've shown us over the years. And I think it was Alex who mentioned Jonathan Tah when we were talking about that sort of player profile Germany like to bring out. it's like every tournament they are in, they show us 2 or 3 players who nobody knows outside of Germany, but they are very, very, very good. When it comes to strikers, people of this generation or just slightly older might remember players like Mario Gomez as well. They are not what you call the super fashion players, but they are absolute gunmen. I mean, you
They
put
are
them
the
in front
super
of the box and
subs.
they'll snipe. Yeah, they'll put you there. Miroslav Klose as well. Quietly, he became top scorer in the history of the World Cup as well. Füllkrug seems like he has an absolute efficient, deadly tunnel vision eye for goal. And I love that. I mean, this is happening for him. He's played a grand total of only 75 minutes in this tournament. And already he's got these 2 goals and 3 shots. And I'm thinking we should really look out for him. And he will be key if they should go far in this tournament. We shouldn't be sleeping on him. He served us notice so far.
For some reason, I look at Füllkrug. Do you know the one striker he reminds me of? Who's currently still playing? The kind of person Füllkrug is, where he's like, like I said, he's spiritual. He just turns up where you don't expect him, and boom, he's launching in a goal. Who do you think?
You've cast quite a wide net there.
No. I mean, there's not a lot of strikers I would only speak about.
Olivier Giroud.
Thank you. It's Olivier Giroud. Facts.
I know.
That's literally who. This is how I see Giroud when he's performing. I mean, I understand with the age, he's not really giving us the kind of person we've seen him or we've grown to see him be on the pitch. But Füllkrug is somebody to really look out for. It's somebody who I believe is going to put his stamp on that striker position, like globally, if care is not taken. He's obviously shown it with Bayern Munich like a few times. He's come to the German team as well. He's doing it again. Like, for me, there's nothing as good as seeing a player doing it in cup level and then come. It's not so many players that can perform on both angle when it comes to football. Some of them are just better off playing with their guys in their different clubs because this is the people they play with every day. They understand themselves. They've literally spent a whole year together. And then you come to the country, you see people struggling because these are people you're not used to playing with, like year in, year out. But then again, so if you have the ones who are able to perform both in the club and the country, these are the ones you want to look out for the future.
He single-handedly, you could say, got Borussia Dortmund through to that final, beating PSG.
Yeah, 100% fact.